Welcome guys to the Meet Damien channel. I am Damien, and today's live stream we're gonna be talking about full moon energy and how that affects Bitcoin, because I think you guys are starting to see the full moon energy come into play here as Bitcoin starts to get to new all-time highs here. I do have the price of Bitcoin up here on the screen to the right. You can see at $124,900 Bitcoin. And then on the charts here, let me get rid of the moving average for now, but you'll see that I have the full moon, the moon cycle indicator up here, showing you like when we've had full moons here, which would be the white moons on the bottom, and then the new moons, which is actually considered the bear moon, okay, when Bitcoin actually tops out, okay, and goes to lower prices here. But we're just about to get a full moon here. It hasn't showed up yet because it's happening later on tonight, but right now the price of Bitcoin is pumping up into the full moon, and usually on the full moon we end up going up that day, usually, most of the time, and then we end up having a few more good days after that, maybe even a couple of good weeks. So is Bitcoin about to go parabolic because of the moon cycle right now? Just the way it affects people, it seems like animal spirits come back into the market when we oh, you know what? I just realized I don't have the chart up here. What's going on here with Prism Live? Oh no. Oh boy. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. I forgot to click over the screen. But we'll now look at the price of Bitcoin at $124,900. You can see that above my head right now. And we'll look at the moon cycle indicator here, with the full moons are in the white and the new moon is in dark gray here. And we're just about to pump into the full moon here. The full moon hasn't showed up yet on the chart. It's going to show up probably later on tonight when we actually get the full moon. And I mean, we're about to pump into a full moon. So does this mean that Bitcoin goes parabolic from where we are right now? Okay. Maybe. And if it does go parabolic, how far could it possibly go? Well, I'm going to put on another indicator here that we talked about this yesterday with the pi cycle indicator. And the pi cycle indicator is showing, I mean, this is a moon boy target if I ever had to say there is a moon boy target, but we have this green line here sitting at $199,900. In order for someone to say that, if you believe in the pi cycle indicator and someone was to say that, oh, we're topping out on Bitcoin right now, well, the pi cycle indicator says not yet, not quite yet, because we would need the price of Bitcoin literally to go right now to $199,000 today. As of this moment, right now, we need to see $199,000 Bitcoin, or basically 200 grand Bitcoin, in order for you to then say the pi cycle indicator is topping out. And this orange line would then need to do a straight beeline or teleport itself up to this green line in order for us to actually top out here on Bitcoin. So, is it possible that the moon boys might be right in that we might see $200,000 Bitcoin? I think the pi cycle indicator says that's a possibility here. But let me get rid of the moon boy. I'm sorry, the moon cycle indicator here. I feel like a moon boy because Bitcoin's near all-time highs right now. But last time we had the pi cycle indicator showing us where the top was for Bitcoin, we had this orange line catching up to the green line using the pi cycle indicator. And the orange line didn't catch up to the green line until like April 14th of 2021. And you would have been selling your Bitcoin near the top at $64,000 Bitcoin. Okay? So this pi cycle indicator, pretty useful indicator. It's been right during April of 2021. It also did the same thing here in 2017. Okay, in 2017, we saw the orange line try to catch up to the green line. Okay, but you can see that the price was above the green line for the most part, and going parabolic back here in 2017. And that allowed the orange line to actually catch up to the green line here on the pi cycle indicator. And when these lines crossed, you know, when the streams crossed, the Ghostbuster guys here, it was around like when Bitcoin was at like $19,000 in 2017. So Pi signal indicator, not the end-all be-all indicator, but definitely an indicator that you guys might want to add to your charts, especially for Bitcoin. This is only applicable to Bitcoin. It's not applicable to Ethereum or any other asset, gold, stocks. This is only a Bitcoin-only indicator, and it just seems to like work like a charm, where you can figure out where Bitcoin's going to top out within a few days, within that week, that same week. Okay, and right now, I mean, I'm seeing the price of Bitcoin. It has a lot of work to do. It has to actually get above that green line. It has to get above $199,000 Bitcoin in order for this orange line to then get the push and shove that it needs to try and catch up to that green line. So, are we about to see some crazy, ridiculous price action in Bitcoin in the next few days and weeks and months to come here? Because that's what I'm seeing with the price signal indicator here. Another indicator that kind of helps is, it's not really an indicator, but it's like just paying attention to what is the most downloaded financial app on the App Store. And we've seen Bitcoin top out whenever like Coinbase and Robinhood are like the number one, number two apps. When Coinbase, which is a cryptocurrency exchange, when that becomes the number one downloaded app, that ends up being like a top indicator. That ends up saying that everybody's trying to buy Bitcoin, everybody's trying to download Coinbase so they can go buy Bitcoin so they can get rich like their friends and family did. That's a good top indicator, and we don't have that yet. Last time I checked, we don't have that yet for the App Store. DZ says that Bitcoin won't hit 200K this cycle. Not enough money in the market. Don't make certainties and absolutes. You're sounding like a Sith Lord from Star Wars here. You can't say that it's not going to hit, okay? Or you have to be open to the possibility that it could hit, all right? Maybe if it was a more ridiculous target, like $1 million, you could say, oh, it's probably not going to hit $1 million because there's not enough money yet in cryptocurrency world. But $200,000 is, I mean, that's a double from where we are right now. Almost, not even. It's a little bit less than a double. And Bitcoin right now, let's look at the market cap for Bitcoin. Market cap for Bitcoin is at $2.4 trillion. I think Bitcoin can easily add another $2.5 trillion, become a $5 trillion asset, and that's still not competing with gold. Gold, you know, the price of gold. If I type in gold market cap versus Bitcoin. Actually, let me just type in gold market cap just to get the number out right here. But gold has about $26 trillion in it. So for you to say that Bitcoin can't get to $200,000, you're basically saying that Bitcoin can't get up to like $5 trillion, which would basically put it at $200,000. And I mean, $5 trillion would be only 20% of what the price of gold is at. Bitcoin would only have 20% of the market cap of gold. So I actually think, you know, Bitcoin could get up to $1 million, right? Because we already looked at the price of Bitcoin, and the market cap's at 2.4 trillion. If you slap on another zero, that's about $24 trillion, and that would have Bitcoin basically at $1 million a coin, and competing against the market cap of gold. So yeah, you got to stay open-minded. You can't just deal in absolutes. I think Bitcoin can double from where it is right now. All right, and we're gonna stick to that. I still think Bitcoin can double from where it is right now and go to $200,000. It seems a lot more believable now that Bitcoin's at $124,000, right? It was a little bit tough to say that when Bitcoin was below 100 grand, even like a couple of weeks ago when Bitcoin was at like 108K. But I think the price is showing that we can still be believers here in Bitcoin. All right, let's see what my TikTok guys are saying here. We got Elvis asking for algo in HBAR. Let me go ahead and write down those requests, and then I know DZ, you asked for Toshi, so let me put that down as the first request because you actually put that in for everybody else. And then Elvis wants to look at algo and HBAR. All right. And then what else? Let's see. Mr. Unknown wants to look at XLM. Idris wants World Liberty Finance. Okay. And Pepe. I'm taking the requests right now as they come in. And let's see. Yeah, it looks like Idris, you were requesting Pepe and World Liberty Finance already. All right. Yeah, let's get to it. Let's take a look at the charts here. Let me get rid of the Pi signal indicator because that's only applicable for Bitcoin. But Pi signal indicator is saying that $200,000 Bitcoin could be a possibility here. And I have done like Fibonacci on, you know, if this is going to be the swing low to swing high right now, I'll quickly draw out a Fibonacci here on Bitcoin. And you got 2618 saying that Bitcoin can get up to $209,000. And you got a 3618 that says Bitcoin can get up to $260,000. That might happen later on this year. Might even happen going into next year as well. But we'll be paying attention to see if there's any topping signals. We'll see how the Pi signal indicator is, and then we'll also pay attention to like Coinbase app. I think there's a lot of things that are going to help get more money into the market. I know some people are concerned that there's not enough money going into crypto, but just wait. You know, we got Donald Trump talking about stimulus checks, taking money from tariffs and giving it back to the people in the form of stimulus checks, and then we got the Federal Reserve lowering interest rates. So, you know, lowering interest rates is going to help people refinance their houses, and some of that refinance money might go into crypto when they get a new line of, you know, a home equity line of credit to go buy some Bitcoin. So you just wait. It's about to happen again, just like it did 4 years ago and 4 years before that. All right, let's take a look at Taoshe. And guys, how's the music and volume? I feel like it's a little bit loud on my end. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. But if you're able to hear me, just let me know. If the music's a little bit too loud, just let me know about that too. I had a little mess up today. I forgot to switch the screen over. I was looking at the charts while the starting stream screen was still on. But hey, you know, that's why you guys are here, to let me know. Dutchy says music is a bit loud indeed. I did turn it down. Let me just turn it down some more on my end. I don't want to turn it down too much. This is the music that I am listening to. I already got it down pretty much as far as I could. It's gonna turn off if I go any lower, but I did turn it down on my end. Okay, so hopefully it's not too loud for you. All right, Toshi currently trading at 8,874 is what we're gonna call it. You know, it's less than a penny. It's up 8.98% today. I did look at Toshi, I think yesterday. Drew out a fib from the 1160 level where we saw Toshi at last, well, actually a couple of Wednesdays ago, September 17th here. And I just drew a Fibonacci off of this impulse candle here. And you can see that Toshi right now is kind of hanging out. It's actually, I think did it hit? It must have hit. I think it hit like a couple hours ago. We got up to the golden pocket level here at 92,257 and 94.58. We actually hit 94.64, so we actually got a little bit above the golden pocket number there. But you can see TA being respected. Let me go into the 1 hour chart so you can see this. Yeah, so you can see that, you know, in the last few hours here, we actually hit 94.64 on Toshi on around 10 a.m. Eastern time here. And you can see that kind of lines up, right? That lines up with that Fibonacci. So you got rejected. Could you come back down to the 0.5 retracement? Possibly. I mean, we're almost on our way to there. That 0.5 retracement is sitting at 85.15. Okay. I think this is where you're going to be looking for a relatively cheaper Toshi before this thing tries to make it back up to that 618 golden pocket level. And then we're also going to look to see if we can get up to that 786 golden pocket, 786 retracement level at 10,300. And of course, can we get back up to what we did here in September when we saw Toshi at 11,660? For the day traders, this is what you're working with here, okay? For you long-term guys on Toshi, you're probably looking for higher prices than that. You're probably looking for something near the 1272, where this thing could get up to like 13,300, or the 1618, where we could get up to like 15,548, which is almost a double in price from where we are right now. I think Toshi could double in price just from what the charts are showing here. Okay. And I like the fact that Toshi, at least on the 4-hour time frame, you are getting above the highs here in September. Let's keep doing that. Let's make a higher low and then try to go up to higher prices from there and actually confirm an uptrend. Let's see what the moving averages are doing. Moving averages are below you, but that's fine. That means you're bullish on the moving averages. And let's get into the daily time frame. Let's see what the daily time frame is. Daily time frame, the moving averages are below you as well, so you can continue being bullish on Toshi, in my opinion. Toshi on the daily time frame has been making, you know, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. It's doing what it needs to do to be in the bull market and in an uptrend, in my opinion. All right, Rogos Amelia. I can't really say your name, but you're saying you're selling BTC from $125,200 take profit target. Is that a long or a short that you're talking about there? And K Peso is saying next leg up is 145K on Bitcoin, and then Mar is asking for Polkadot. And I am getting a little bit cold here. Let me go ahead and turn the thermostat down a little bit here, guys. I got the AC blasting. I'm getting a little bit too cold. Give me a second here, guys. Too hot for me right now. All right, back with you guys. So that's upside targets for Toshi, and downside. I mean, you could come down to 85.15, maybe even the 0.32 at 77.72. We have some sideways trading at that area the last few days here. But if Bitcoin's gonna be making new all-time highs, then I think you can forget about the downside targets and you can just focus on the upside targets as altcoins try to catch up with Bitcoin going to new all-time highs here. Let's take a look at Algo, and then we got H-bar to look at too. So Algorand. All right, we got Algorand currently trading at 22 cents, almost 23 cents, up 4.71% today. And I also got previous Fibonacci analysis on Algorand. I measured from this impulse move back here in July when Algorand got as high as 34 cents. Okay, we created a basically a descending triangle. But you could say that this could possibly end up being like a bull flag, and you got your bull pennant or your descending triangle. And if you take this measured move, then using trend analysis here, chart pattern analysis, if we break out, we were expecting Algorand to break out to the upside and actually get up to basically this blue number here, 38.39 cents, which is where that 1272 Fibonacci extension is sitting at. I think that is your long-term take profit target on Algorand. About basically like a 50% move. Almost, I take that back. It's actually about 100% move. Let me go ahead and measure this out real quick. We go from where we are right now to 39 cents. You're looking at like a 72% move up in price if Algorand's able to do that. Okay. But Algorand in the descending triangle, and it didn't really catch the bids when it broke out of the descending triangle. It actually broke down further, made a lower low over the last 2 days here towards the end of September. But now we're trying to make our way back up, so I guess I have to redraw the line on this descending triangle, because we might actually still be creating a descending triangle here, right? On the daily time frame, you can redraw the lines here. You want to get the I'm trying to get the candlewick highs here. Some people do candle body closes. Because I started with a candlewick, I'm looking for all the candlewicks on my downtrend here. So I guess you could say we are still in a descending triangle on Algorand, and this was like a fake out that got the bears all excited, only for them to get us back into the descending triangle again. But we're kind of coming up to the end of this descending triangle, and we gotta make a decision here. Well, there's three decisions we can make. We can either drop down and be bearish again on Algorand, probably come down to this 0.236 retracement. That red number, if you're able to see it, let me just zoom in. About 0.198 pennies is where we could come back down to, like we tested here on Sunday, September 28th. Okay. Or we could just go sideways out of this descending triangle. That's another way to just break out of it. Or we could actually break out to the upside. If we break out to the upside, I think you have some resistance. Fibonacci traders are probably eyeballing that 24.248 penny level, basically 25 pennies. Could be a take profit target. And then they're also going to be looking for the, can we get up to that 618 retracement at 27 cents? That's a normal retracement. This is where you could take profit on your longs and possibly enter a short just to see if it's going to hit and actually take you down to lower prices here on Algorand. Okay. But yeah, for the long-term swing traders who are in it for the long term, you are eyeballing to see if we can get back up to 34 cents like we did here in July. And then you're also trying to see if we can get up to that 1272 at 39 cents, which was also, that 39 cent target was also the target if you use the flag pull out of this potential bull flag going to the upside here. Alright, let me see what you guys are saying here in the comments. Rogo Zamilla, you're talking about short, you're in profit. I'm glad to hear that you're in profit on your short there. So, you're shorting Bitcoin right now at 125,200 and your take profit is 124K. Alright. I mean, you're basically shorting it right now. That's where the price of Bitcoin is right now at 125,200. I think the bulls want to take the price higher than that. I'd be careful with that short. Keep your stop loss tight, because I think the bulls are trying to come for you right now. Let's take a look at the 15-minute chart here on Bitcoin real quick. And we'll look at the oscillators here. If you're shorting, you're probably looking for some bearish divergence and possibly a double top. You are catching close to the near all-time highs. All-time high as for Bitcoin as of now was Saturday night when we saw Bitcoin get up to 125,750 here on Coinbase Exchange. And on the 15-minute chart, we were clearly overbought at 82 on the RSI for Bitcoin. Right now, your RSI is at 63. And you're getting close to coming up to that all-time high again on Bitcoin. When Bitcoin actually gets overheated again, overbought on the RSI, that would actually negate the bearish divergence. If this is going to be bearish divergence, it would invalidate the bearish divergence if we actually make a higher high on the RSI level here. So I'd be careful with that short. You might be catching the top of Bitcoin. You're basically game planning. If you're shorting it now, you're hoping that this ends up being like this is the top and this is another top. So you're basically looking for a double top on Bitcoin, which is a play on the short. That could be a possible play here on Bitcoin. Or this could also be a lower high. Okay, this could also be a lower high for Bitcoin compared to what we did here on Saturday night. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong for trying to take a short. Just keep your stop loss tight, because you'll end up being, you know, exit liquidity for the longs as they try to push this thing up to higher prices. Okay. But yeah, let's get back in the oscillators here real quick. On the 15-minute time frame, which might be useful, you did have a red sell dot that printed at 12 p.m. Eastern time here. So they're saying that now is a good time to start selling, but it could get invalidated by a green buy dot. You see the green buy dot came in real quick here earlier in the time frames here. about, you know, around 11:30 p.m. 11:30 a.m. here. So I don't know. I mean, it's tough. It's tough. But what I can tell you is the overall trend, if you go into the weekly time frame, you do have a green buy dot that showed up last week. So you're fighting a lot of momentum and trend to the upside here on Bitcoin, okay? Last time we had a green buy dot was around April of 2025. And that sent, you know, we all know May, June, and July was some good months here for Bitcoin. So I think we're going to see some good months here for Bitcoin, okay? We did have a red sell dot here on the middle of August, and that's why we had a bad September, okay? Wasn't the greatest month for Bitcoin. But now that's getting invalidated here with that green buy dot. So overall, the trend is we go to higher prices on Bitcoin. Just looking at the money flow and also the market cipher B buy dots here on the weekly time frame, not just the daily, but the weekly time frame. But if I go into the daily time frame, you know, it does say that we have a green buy dot here. Last Monday was a good day to buy Bitcoin, okay? And money flow came in to the upside. I would probably wait, you know, if you're trying to catch the top on Bitcoin, I would probably wait until you see a red sell dot just to confirm that you're right about your short here. But right now, you don't have that red sell dot yet on the daily time frame on market cipher B, so you might be a little bit early on your short. But I don't blame you for trying to take a chance on it. Just keep your stop loss, you know, tight and manageable, so you're not risking too much money. And then if Bitcoin goes up to $130,000, then you just re-enter your short again. You know, maybe lose like 10, 15, 20 bucks on your short. I'm not sure how much money you're playing around with, but whatever money you feel is acceptable for a loss on your short, you might have to re-enter again at like $130,000 Bitcoin or higher. But I can't blame you for taking the short either, because you might be cashing the top. You might. DZ, are you asking me personally what I am currently trading right now? I am in a long on Bitcoin actually, and I'm in a long on Solana, and a long on XPL, and I believe I'm long in I have to go check Mexi, but I believe I'm long in Aerodrome. I gotta go check my trades. But yeah, Idris, we will look at Pepe and World Liberty Finance. Let's take a look at Pepe right now. Let's see how Pepe's doing. One of the popular meme coins out there. Pepe is currently trading at 1,027, up 4.8% today. Let me go ahead and turn on the moving averages real quick, see what it's doing. Pepe currently below the daily 200-day moving average at 1041. That could be your possible resistance right now. We got up to like 1036 earlier today, so that makes sense. You got some more resistance above you. That 50-day and 100-day. 50-day, that green line sitting at 1089, and the 100-day sitting at 1126. You got to get above that for Pepe to continue being bullish, and then you got to get above this lower high here at 1269. Show that you can actually get to that level and stay at that level on Pepe. I think some people might click the sell button on you when it does get to 1269, because look at this. You got a candle wick, pretty extended candle wick here. Some people might call it a swing failure pattern. Okay, and there's a lot of selling pressure, a lot of liquidity pushing this thing down to lower prices. Could you get yourself back up and actually push past this sell side liquidity that's pushing you down? If you can, then you can make the case that you're going to higher prices here on Pepe, but that 1269 level needs to be beat first. That's one of your bosses that you got to beat to get to the next level here. And then the next level is going to be can Pepe get up to 1475 like it did here in July? Okay, so those are your upside targets for Pepe. Let's quickly look at the oscillators real quick. You do have a green buy dot that said, you know, Wednesday. Last Wednesday was a good day to buy Pepe. And I think you're good up until you see a red sell dot come in. and then you have to probably take profit on your Pepe long if you're day trading it. Alright, but you would think if Pepe, I mean, if Bitcoin's going to go up to higher prices, then Pepe is probably going to follow along to try to play catch up. But you got a lot of work to do here on Pepe, in my opinion here. DZ wants to look at Bonk. I'll write that down. It's going to come up later on in the live stream here. We got a few more coins to look at. Alright, let me go to HBAR, and then we'll take a look at World Liberty Finance. HBAR, USD. Got a lot of things look on this chart right now. Let me clean things up here a little bit. HBAR, currently trading just below 23 cents. There was something else that was like around this level, right? Was it Toshi? Nah, I can't remember, but this looks like a familiar number to me. And I think we might have looked at HBAR yesterday. Anyways, I did draw a Fibonacci from the 13 cent level to up to 30 cents. That's where HBAR topped out in July. And we've been in kind of like a falling wedge almost, or a descending channel here on HBAR. Making lower highs, and also lower lows. But there's still a chance that this thing could break out to the upside. I just take this measure move, the bull flag pattern here. Okay, this is your flag pull, this is your flag. And if this is going to play out on HBAR where we break out of this golden pocket level that we're sitting at right now, then HBAR could get up almost to this 1618. That's about 41 cents here, right? Saying about 39-40 cents here is a target for HBAR. But HBAR right now contending again against the 618. The 618 sitting at like 23 pennies here, almost 24 pennies. I think there's gonna be some resistance at that level there. We'll see how we handle ourselves. We gotta actually stay at that level and not go down to lower prices here. You might get something, and I know this is gonna look a little messy on the charts here with all this rainbow color stuff looking, but you gotta get up to the golden pocket and use that as support. Maybe go sideways for a little bit and then launch up to higher prices here on HBAR. Okay, because if you get rejected, then then we have to probably redraw this descending channel here, and it's gonna probably look something like that, where you're still in the descending channel. And then you might have to create a lower low again on HBAR. So that would not be good, especially if Bitcoin's going to all-time highs. I mean, come on, HBAR, let's get with it. Let's get with the crowd, get with the program. Try to go up to higher prices and stay high. Okay, you got to get out of this falling wedge, this descending channel, in my opinion, to be bullish on HBAR. Okay. Because if not, if you do go to low prices, I mean we're looking at the 0.382 at 19 cents. Okay, 19.5 cents, which not too far from where we are right now, but it's not what you want to see. That's not how you make money, is when prices go down, right? But HBAR could do that to you. All right, Porky's in the chat. Porky's asking, we go to zero now? Most likely not, Porky. Maybe HBAR goes to zero, but yeah, I don't think Bitcoin's going to zero. They've been saying that for a long time. Bitcoin going to zero, and it never does. Sasha wants to look at Ondo. That's gonna have to come up later on in the live stream. We gotta look at World Liberty Finance, XLM, Pepe, Dot, and Bonk before we get to Ondo. Okay, let me cross out some of these ones that I already done. Alright, so we gotta look at World Liberty Finance and XLM. Coming up on deck now. John 316 wants to look at Kronos. I got you, John. I got you. Alright. Thank you, Porky, for coming into the chat here. I'll try to give you a shout out. Let me get through some of these requests here, but I'll try to do a shout out here on TikTok so we can start building up your TikTok following a little bit here. All right. Yeah, let's move on to World Liberty Finance for Idris. Made the request here. Hopefully you're still in the chat, still watching the live stream. So you want to know, is World Liberty Finance a sell or should you hold on to it? Right now, World Liberty Finance is trading at 20 cents. And this is data coming off of Mexi Exchange. It's a relatively new coin here. Looks like it started trading around September 1st. So something, but only a month old. And I kind of disregarded this candle when it first came in, and I just used this high for my Fibonacci at like 25 cents, 26 cents, right? That's like where World Liberty Finance was trading on September 2nd. I guess we kind of already got up to 25 and a half cents. So I guess I can readjust this. Yeah, to this high. Yeah, all right. So I actually measured. All right, I take that back. I measured from the low here. This is your swing low to your swing high here. That's the Fibonacci that I got. 16 cents to 25 and a half cents here. And this is what we got for World Liberty Finance. You actually came down to the 0.236 level on September 25th. Then you try to make a run back up to the 618 retracement at 22 cents on September 28th. And now you're kind of like creating, you're trying to create an uptrend, making some higher lows here. Let's continue doing that. Let's not go lower than where we are right now. I think if you do go lower than where you are, then this uptrend gets invalidated, and you got to start reevaluating whether or not you want to be in World Liberty Finance. I think the real line in the sand, if you're spot trading this, if you're in it for the long term, you do not want to see yourself go lower than what you did here on September 25th, okay? Don't go lower than 18 pennies because that puts you below this last candle wick low, which was still higher than what you had here in September 5th, okay? But then it just shows that you are making lower lows and there is no uptrend in that case, and you're still making lower highs. So yeah, World Liberty Finance, I understand why you're a little bit frustrated with it because you're making lower highs. However, you are still making higher lows on a daily time frame. Okay, you got this uptrend. This is what you're holding on to for Derek Race, but you can still come down here, make a double bottom near like 18 cents and then launch up to higher prices. So I wouldn't quite give up yet. Even if you did lose 20 cents, you could come down to 18 cents and still be, you know, you could still be bullish on World Liberty Finance, in my opinion. Just because you're making a double bottom at like 18 cents, okay? And then I would like to see us get back up to 22 cents at some point. Get up to that golden retracement and actually stay there, not just hang out there for one day and then get rejected. I want to actually see us trade sideways for a little bit at 22 cents and then launch up to higher prices. Get people comfortable that 22 cents is going to stick around for a while here, and then you can go up to like 23 and then 25 cents all over again, okay? But yeah, I get it. It's a little bit frustrating here. I don't have any moving averages because this thing is so brand new. If I go into the 1 hour time frame, I might have some moving averages to work with here. Let me go ahead and turn them on now. On the 1 hour time frame, you are below the moving averages here. So you're in do or die time, in my opinion, for World Liberty Finance. Even though you could die and still go down to 18 pennies, and that would be fine as well. Okay? You got to start catching those bids right now. And you got to stay up above this uptrend. And then you got to get above that 200 moving average on the 1 hour time frame, in my opinion here. You do that, and then you can be more bullish. And then maybe we can jump to the 4 hour time frame. See what that looks like. Oh yeah, all the moving averages are relatively brand new on the 4 hour time frame. But you do have some resistance here on the 4 hour time frame, where you got the 200 day starting to creep up, starting to come in onto the charts here. And then you got the 50 day. And those are all hanging out near like that 0.5 retracement at 21 cents here. About 21 cents. So 21 cents is also going to be kind of tough for you to get past. Because you got the moving averages on the 4 hour time frame at that level. You got the 0.5 retracement at that level. You also got some candlewick highs here from like last week, around 21 cents. So I think 21 cents for the day traders, they're gonna probably take profit at that level. No, I have not looked at Aster, Ava Medina. Thank you for coming into the live stream. I'll go ahead and put that down as a request from you. So we gotta look at Aster. I think I did put Aster in the as one of the hashtags for the YouTube video here. But yeah, no, we haven't looked at it. We'll take a look at it for you. Oh, and I got another request here from my TikTok guy. Kian wants to look at Arbitron. ARB. Alright. Just so you guys know, I have my list here that I'm going through. And for my TikTok guys, if you're able to see that. I got some of my coins to look at here that you guys are giving me a few requests. DZ wants to look at Farcoin, or are you just making a statement that Farcoin looks good? And Ava Medina thinks H-bar is forming a cup and handle. I think I looked at H-bar. We looked at H-bar and it looked like it was in a descending, falling wedge, possibly a descending channel. And if that's the handle, maybe you might be right about that. Okay, yeah, DZ says making a statement. Alright. Kyle Robbie, have I looked at Solana? No, I haven't, but do you want me to? And guys, don't forget to hit the like button like GoTo just said. Let's hit the like button. Let's go ahead and get the amount of likes to match the amount of people in the live stream here on my YouTube. Appreciate that, guys. And we'll move on to... we gotta take a look at XLM. Was a request here. I think we looked at XLM yesterday, but whatever. Maybe you didn't see that that live stream yesterday. I feel like we're getting some repeats on some of these coins here. If I looked at it yesterday, it probably didn't really do much today. Because right now XLM is only trading up 2.9% today. Currently trading at almost 41 pennies. And what do we got here for XLM? I gotta get into the daily time frame here. Yeah. I like to get the big picture here. Does that look like a bull flag to you? Kind of does to me, right? Measuring the move here on XLM, right? You could be in a bull flag or a bull planet, however you want to describe it. And if this is a bull flag and we're breaking out of that flag right now, you got a target here of like 71 pennies for lumens, stellar lumens, XLM. And now that I got that going on here, I'll do a Fibonacci, because that was a monster move that we saw here on XLM back in July. But if I measure this out here, you're kind of already at the golden pocket level at 41 pennies. So you're kind of contending up against some resistance on the Fibonacci here for XLM. If you get past that, then you're looking to see if you can get up to like 46 pennies here at your 786 retracement. That was a level that you kind of hit back here in the middle of August, and then you got rejected. So I think that's your next upside target for you short-term swing trader, day traders out there. Then of course, can we get back up to 52 cents like we saw here in July? And then look at this. You got a 1618 that kind of matches the bull flag upside target. So whether you're using the bull flag or if you're using Fibonacci, they're both saying like 71 pennies is your upside target for stellar lumens. And I think stellar lumens is fine. You're above the moving averages. 200 day, 100 day, 50 day, even the 21 EMA is below you. So you're bullish, in my opinion. And you're just waiting to get launched and go to higher prices, in my opinion. Let's see what the oscillators are doing. RSI is at 59, so you got the permission to go up to higher prices before you even get overbought. MACD is showing some green candles coming up. Stochastic RSI is curving down. I don't know if I like that. Okay, Let's stop curving down and just stay overbought, because you need to stay overbought in order to be seeing higher prices here for XLM. And then market cipher B, money flow is coming in, and you got the green buy dot that came in September 29th, and you're kind of making higher lows here on the green buy dot, higher lows on the money flow here. So yeah, I think SLM is ready to go to higher prices. You're just in the waiting room right now. That's all. Just in the waiting room. Downside targets. You got the moving averages below you. You would think the 50-day moving average should give you some support at like 38 pennies, and then you got the 100-day at 34 pennies, which is confluent with that 0.382. So the Fibonacci traders and the guys that are using moving averages, they should provide support around that 33-cent level if we do get knocked down for whatever reason. It might not even be crypto related. It could be like, you know, maybe NATO shoots down a Russian jet, you know, with a Russian pilot in there, and then that sends the prices down to like 33 cents. Has nothing to do with crypto, but then, you know, fear does cause people to start selling things, you know, right? Because then maybe somebody in like a NATO country is like, oh my god, I need to get the hell out of here before World War III starts. I need to like get out of Poland to then move to like you know, maybe Costa Rica or something like that, and they got to sell their crypto to make that trip to Costa Rica. And that could be the reason why they sell their XLM, because they need to get the hell out of NATO and Europe. Just an idea. Has nothing to do with crypto, but it still affects crypto. Alright, we got Cam in the chat. Good to see you, Cam. And then I got a question, I think, from Keon saying, is Bitcoin going to moon? Of course it's going to moon. It looks like it wants to moon. Cam thinks things are totally crazy right now. Yeah, they are. We got a full moon coming up later on tonight, and usually Bitcoin pumps during a full moon. So we've already pumped going into a full moon. So like, what does that mean? Do we got start going parabolic and maybe seeing like 130, 140K later on this week for Bitcoin? I don't know, but I like what I'm seeing so far on the charts. Let's see, Bitcoin at 125,400. We had somebody that was shorting at 125,200. That's why I said you got to keep those stop losses tight, because the bulls are trying to push to higher prices right now. Bitcoin at $125,400 here. Let's see, getting close to the all-time high at 125,750. What do we got? We got up to like 125,599 here on Coinbase Exchange. Wow. Very interesting. I probably should do like a pop-up window where I get like another window that shows you like the price of Bitcoin while we're actually looking at the other charts here. But anyways, I just want to show you guys that Bitcoin is still being bullish here. Still being bullish. Shorts are getting squeezed probably. They'll probably get squeezed later on tonight, or maybe even this afternoon here. I think we'll see $130,000 Bitcoin later on this week. Could even happen tonight. Alright, so that's XLM, World Liberty Finance. Then we got like a Polkadot and Bonk, and then we got Ondo, Crow, Aster, and Arb. Mozart, is that a request for Proton token? I never heard of that one. Is it a relatively new token? I don't think anybody that I know. No one has actually come onto my live stream asking for that. Bitcoin acting bad. I mean, I'll try to look at Proton. I never heard of that one. But yeah, thank you for the request there. Don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't already. And if you're new to the channel, you can follow and subscribe to me. I am on YouTube and I am on TikTok. Let me just show you my YouTube channel here real quick if I can. What the hell? Where is this thing? There. But yeah, there I am on YouTube. Okay. And you can also find me on TikTok. Let me just quickly go onto TikTok here. Hopefully TikTok doesn't give me trouble like it did yesterday. But yeah, you can come join the 5,000 followers here. Thank you, Lion King, for following me, and Go To Hill for following me. Thank you, thank you. And I also want to show you guys another crypto YouTuber, and he's also on TikTok as well, and that's Porky. I want to give out the shout out to Porky. Hopefully Porky's still in the chat. I don't know. I know he's a busy family man, but he's also trying to give you some good TA as well when he gets a chance. Let's see if we can get Porky to get some more followers here on TikTok so you can see him go live on TikTok. But yeah, that's Porky right there. He's putting out some content, trying to get some more followers here. And he gives you the TA on various coins as well. Should give him a look here for my TikTok guys. I want Porky to do well here on TikTok, so we can see more of him on TikTok. But yeah, you can also find Porky on YouTube as well. I go back here to you know, Porky's channel. He's got a bigger following here on YouTube than he does TikTok, but he is trying to build it up. And he's also doing like live streaming on Pumpkin. And I believe there's another one that he does as well. I think it, I can't remember the name of it, but he's on Pumpkin as well and YouTube. And he's got TA. You might want to check out Porky as well on YouTube if you got a chance. There he is with his YouTube shorts about Sui, Bitcoin. He'll even talk about stocks as well, Costco and Apple, if you guys want to take a look at those shorts as well. All right, Bitcoin 125,506. We're gonna now move on to Polkadot. See how Polkadot's doing here. I'm looking for crypto. Isn't Polkadot on Coinbase? I don't know why it's not showing up on Coinbase Exchange. Oh, I typed it in wrong. Sorry about that. Dot. All right, dot USD on Coinbase. Currently trading at $4.36, up 5.4% today. I'm gonna get rid of the Fibonacci for now, so we can just look at this as a naked chart. Polkadot is doing what it needs to do. Okay, it's slow and steady, but it is also winning the race here to try to go to higher prices. You are making higher lows compared to what you did here in June. Higher low here in August, higher low here in September, and also higher low towards late September. And now we just got to start making higher highs. Okay, can you get above the highs that you did here in May? Okay, $5.36 and $5.39. I got to cease that before I become more bullish on Polkadot, but I can start to be bullish on Polkadot because you are above the 200-day moving average. That 200-day moving average, that red line sitting at $4.03. That's good to see. That means you're no longer in a bear market, in my opinion here, right? Because you lost the 200-day moving average back in January. And we all know it's been a tough year for Polkadot here, as well as some other altcoins. But Polkadot now starting to show like some life here, getting above the 200-day moving average for the first time since you know, January. And could Polkadot go to higher prices? Of course, yeah. I mean, we've seen Polkadot at higher prices in December of last year. Let me go ahead and throw out the VRVP, and we'll get a better idea as like what Polkadot could do next here. So you got the point of control. The most amount of people were buying Polkadot at that blue line sitting at 392. So that's your line of support now because you're above it. If you keep pushing up to higher prices, the resistance starts to drop down here on the VRVP. And you probably won't have significant resistance until you get up to that value area high at like 564. That is a level that people bought Polkadot. A good majority of people bought Polkadot, besides buying it here at 390. This is the value area high. Should be a take profit target for you day traders out there and short-term swing traders. 566 would be where I would get out of Polkadot for taking some profit here. But then after that, I mean, there's really not much resistance. I mean, there's some volume here on the VRVP. You have to basically look at what Polkadot did, you know, in November, December of last year. All right, you have some candlewick lows here, candlewick low here at like 758. That could be a target. That 758 was also resistance, I think, here in January. Between 758 and $8 was acting as resistance here in early January. So that's another long-term take profit target for Polkadot, in my opinion here. I should get a BTC LED sign for my wall. Maybe. I probably should, right? To add that to the studio here. That sounds like a good idea there, DZ. And then John is just saying blessings to Steve. Is Steve in the chat? Let me see. Did I see Steve come in there? I haven't seen Steve on the chat yet. Oh wait, I just skipped right over it. Yeah, Steve is in the chat. Yeah, there he is. He said, "Hey, bro," and then he said, "Hey" to John. You guys want me to get a BTC light? Would you be able to see it? Because I usually do my live streams during the afternoon, and I got the lights on. Do I need to like turn the lights off, right? And have the light in the background? Make it look like I'm one of those gamers, or I guess a crypto YouTuber. I guess I could do that. Oh, John, you're funny. You're funny, John. Alright. So that was Polkadot. Let's move on to Bonk here. Right? I think Polkadot's looking fine. I'm glad to see you're above all the moving averages now in the daily time frame. And the moving averages, I gotta get rid of the VRVP, but the moving averages, I think you can use the moving averages as your support now for Polkadot, as your downside targets at $4. I think $4 is going to be a psychological target and also a moving average target where you could just get some support for Polkadot at that price. All right, I gotta now look at Bonk, and then we got Ondo and Crow after that. Bonk USD. Alright, so I got some previous chart analysis. I already looked at Bonk before. Bonk is currently trading at 2173. Mario's asking about TARS AI. Last time I looked at TARS AI, it was doing things I did not want to see it doing. Hopefully it got itself out of trouble there. But we'll take a look at TARS AI later on in the stream. Thank you for the request. Bonk. What are we doing here with Bonk? Let me clean things up here a little bit. We're just looking now at the Fibonacci. I drew the Fibonacci from the lows here at 1360 is what we're going to call it, to the highs here at 38.38. Bonk is currently trading at 21.74 and up 9% today. Damn! That would have been a nice day trade right there. Stop on some 10x leverage, you would have been up 90%. Okay, so Bonk catching the bids right now. It was hanging out near this 0.236 level here at 1945 for a few days here and towards the end of September, and even using it as support towards the first week of October. And now we're getting the launch off of the 0.236 level here, and it looks like we're gonna try to now go to the 0.382 level at 2307 for Bonk. I think that's the next level to be looking out here for Bonk. And then the level after that would be the 0.5 retracement at 25.99, where you got up to this level, kind of got past it in September 13th, but then rejected, and then you confirmed it as like, yeah, this is resistance here at 25.99, and then you lost, you know, Bonk going down to lower prices after hitting that 0.5 retracement, slicing right through the 0.382 like it meant nothing to anybody here. And then you came down to the 0.236 where you actually got some solid support. Now if I turn on the moving averages here, let's see. Yeah, looks like we sliced through that 0.382 level because it meant nothing, right? We lost that. That was where the 50-day moving average was sitting at as well. But they decided to take it all the way down as far as they could to the 200-day moving average and that 0.236 retracement. Okay. Now I think, you know, Bonk should try to at least try to recapture the 0.382 level. Maybe it slices through that level like no one gives a shit about the 0.382 level, and we can just head right to the 0.5 retracement at 25.99. So these are the levels you're playing with for Bonk, right? the 0.336, the 0.382, and the 0.5 for now. Right now, whoever bought earlier today and yesterday, they bought pretty much the bottom of this range between 1945 and 25.99, and you're just playing this thing up, see if you can push it up to 25.99, 2600, and then we'll just see how we handle ourselves from there. For you day traders, swing traders out there. Now for you long-term guys, you're trying to at least hope to get back up to that 618 at 28.92 for bonk. And then can you do what you did here in July, where you got up to like 4,070? That would be nice, right? We shall see. We shall see. And then for you Moonboy bonk meme coin holders, we do have a 1618 that says bonk. You get up to 5370, and that's a double from where we are right now for sure. And then you get the 2618 at 7849. That's going to be a triple from where we are right now, almost a quadruple. And then you get the 3618 that says bonk could get up to like 10,327, and that's a 5x from where we are right now. So you can still probably get that out of bonk. Oh no, I just messed up my bit there. But yeah, you can still possibly get a 5x out of bonk if you think you're cashing the bottom here and want to ride it up that high. Oh, Mozart, we will get to Proton. If you want to skip the line, if you want to send a gift right now, you know, money does make the world go round and round over here. So if you send me a gift, I'll skip what we got right now. We got Ondo, Kronos, Aster, and Arbitron before we go to Proton. But if you want to skip the line, send me a gift. And I feel like that's kind of unfair for my YouTube guys, because you guys aren't able to give me a super chat. But I do accept crypto. If you guys want to send me crypto, you can skip the line too. And then once I get more people, I think when I get to like 500 subs, I'll be able to do super chats. Or maybe it's gonna be like 1,000 subscribers. But yeah, we'll eventually get to Proton for you. It's coming up. I did not forget about you. Goot Hill wants to look at Chainlink at some point. Now Chainlink is gonna come after Proton. We still got a few more coins to go over here. But yeah, we'll take a look at Chainlink. And I just try to get you guys some good TA. I'm not gonna rush through the TA. I want to give you good TA first before I give you bad TA and do a rush job. But this is what we got here. Okay, we got Ondo coming up, then Kronos, Aster, Arbitron, and then Proton. And for my YouTube guys, you can see that too. Alright. So, moving on. We gotta take a look at Ondo. And if you guys aren't able, if you guys don't want to skip the line, then you just have to wait in line as we get to these cryptos. It's first come, first serve, and then whoever actually sends me gifts, sends me money, they get to skip the line. All right, Ondo currently trading at 96 cents, up 5% today. And what do we got here? What do we got? Let me zoom out here. Get rid of the moving averages for now. You know, just looking back, you know, Ondo has seen better days in December of 2024. Like a lot of other altcoins. Making lower highs, lower lows. 2025 was almost like a bear market for a lot of altcoins, including Ondo, in my opinion here. And you're going to be in a bear market if you're below the 200-day moving average. Like, you've been below the 200-day moving average all throughout 2025 here. Okay, so, you know, it was a bull market for Bitcoin and a bull market for select high market cap altcoins like Solana and XRP. But that doesn't mean the other altcoins get to participate in the bull market. Ondo was not one of them that participated in the bull market 2025. Looks like Ondo might be getting its bull market now, though, because you are now above the 200-day moving average. You're above that red line, if you can see it. Have to zoom in a little bit, but yeah, you're above the 200-day moving average at 90 cents, 91 cents, and you're getting a launch off of there as you hit the 618 and 65 golden pocket level, sitting at 97 cents. Okay, we came up to 97.86 on Ondo here. So TA being respected to a T. Like you can't get any better than that. We got the candlewick highs there at the golden pocket level here. And I think Ondo's going to do fine. You know, just continue making higher lows here. This looks like it could have been a double bottom, which is going to play out to the upside. And their next level above you, you're looking for that 786 retracement level at $1.05. Okay, so I think this is where you could get some more resistance on Ondo. And this is an area that we kind of got above in the middle of September, came below it, came above it, then lost it. I think you're going to try to revisit it again. $1.05 is coming up for Ondo. And then we'll see if Ondo can get back up to $1.17. That was the level that you were at July 22nd. And then for you long-term investors in Ondo, you're looking for probably the 1272 and the 1618. That's like $1.32 and $1.51 for your upside targets on Ondo. But yeah, I think Ondo's looking fine. Don't lose the 200-day moving average. That was pretty important for you to stay above it. I think you got that support over the last few days here, and now you're getting launched up to higher prices here. That was confirmed, that support, and now you're trying to make a run for higher prices here. If you lose that 200-day moving average, then that pretty much invalidates all this work and progress that you made here. And then, downside is you could come down to the 0.382 at 82 cents or the 0.236 at 74.75 cents. 74.75 cents is a level that was confluent with a lot of support here in June and July for Ondo. But if you're doing that, then what the hell? I mean, you're really messing things up here to make the case for being bullish on Ondo. Chris Klein is in the chat. Hello, Chris. I am doing good. Oh no, there's a trade intuition raid coming. Oh no, it's about to get lit up here. I look forward to it. I look forward to seeing Joe and company coming on to the live stream here. Let's see. We got CC. Do I see CC's in the TikTok stream here? You're asking for ZBCN. I'm gonna have to put that down. That was one of the later requests here. We got a look at Kronos, Aster, Arbitron, Proton, Tars AI, Link, and then we got ZBCN. So you have to stick around for that. Mozart Legend says banks are building blockchains on Proton. That's interesting. Thank you, Mario, for sending me the heart on my TikTok stream. Thank you. Alright, and we got about 2,800 likes here on TikTok. Let's see if we can get that up to 3,000. I think that's a nice even number. All we need is like a couple of hundred more likes. You guys, let's see, we got like 10 of you on TikTok. If all you guys can just double tap your screen like, what, 20 times here, then we'll get up to 3. Oh, look at that. Look at that. We already hit 3,000 likes already. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let's TikTok know that we have a good stream going on here. Alright, Zuby says, yo, Damien, hope you're good, dude. Did I miss the chain link chart? No, you haven't. That's coming up later on. Right after Tars AI. Let's make it 100,000 likes. Mario, you are very ambitious there. Appreciate the enthusiasm there. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at Kronos. For John 3:16. We're now looking at Kronos, currently trading at 21 cents, up 1.24% today. Kronos is actually above all the movement averages on the daily time frame, so that's good to see. Even though you had a nice, you know, kind of like a blow off top impulse move here, back here towards the end of August, you bled down. You didn't really have that much support. I mean, you tried to do a fight here at 0.5 retracement, and then you lost that. Then 0.382 got rejected here on Thursday, and then you continue down. And then the 0.236, you're like, hey, can we at least maintain the 0.236 at 21 pennies? Nah, we lost that. But then we had a fake out, and like, I'm not sure what this was all about. I thought we were gonna at least come down to the 50-day moving average, that green line. But someone was like, nah, we're actually gonna make a fake out for the bears. that thought the 0.236 level was where they could short it at. And then we just came right back up and took out the shorts here. And now we're just hanging out at the 0.236 level at 21 pennies all over again. But you're still kind of in a downtrend. I don't like the lower highs here on Chronos. And of course, in order for you to make those lower highs, you had to make a lower low, right? So you got lower highs, lower lows. You still got a downtrend. Let me get rid of the Fibonacci for now. And I kind of want to see if I can just draw out what does this downtrend look like here if I just connect. Am I able to connect the candle wicks here? It kind of looks like that for the most part. Alright, so maybe you are breaking out of this downtrend on Chronos. That is good to see. Okay. Yeah, looks like you broke out of that downtrend September 30th. And can we go up to higher prices on Chronos? I think you can, because also I'm also seeing right here a potential uptrend where you have, you know, yeah, this was a very interesting area where you got that breakout on September 30th. So you got an uptrend where you're making higher lows here on Chronos. I think Chronos could be going up to higher prices. Let me go ahead and put that Fibonacci back on again. See if I could draw this out for y'all. Start from here. So if we are going to go to higher prices on Chronos, your 618 is at 29.30 cents. That's the level to be looking for. That's a level that you would expect us to at least try to retrace back up to. So I'd be looking for 29.30 cents on Chronos. Then you got the 786 at 33 pennies, 34 pennies. You kind of had that here on August 29th, where we got to like 34 pennies, but you weren't there for too long. But that's another upside target to be looking for on Chronos. We'll just have to see how Chronos, you have to ask about it maybe, don't ask about it tomorrow, but like maybe ask about it, you know, a few days, maybe next week. We'll revisit this chart, see if Chronos is actually continuing to make it back up to at least the 618 golden pocket here. Alright, Ava Medina says, Floki, you want to take a look at Floki? Of course, when we have good price action in the charts, everybody wants to look at all these altcoins and keep me busy. I appreciate it though. It's fine. Let's see. Crypto Hit is asking me about Lena. Is that a request? Is that a request? Just let me know if that's a request for Lena, or if you just want me to give me my thoughts about it. I actually don't know what Lena is. Is it a new cryptocurrency or is that a stock? Alright, moving on from Chronos, we gotta take a look at Aster. Aster is a decentralized exchange of DEX that was created by Binance founder CZ. Do I want to get on Mexi? Yeah, I'll take a look at Mexi. So you would think that this crypto has potential to go to higher prices, and it will make money and stick around for a while. As long as it's making money, it'll be around for a while. I think they're gonna try to make this like the decentralized exchange for Binance, so Binance can continue operating as a decentralized exchange. But I also heard like some rumors that they're coming after CZ for like wash trading. I heard that on Porky's stream. Someone said that on Porky Founder's stream, and that CZ might get in trouble, and that some people are trying to get out of Aster now because of that. But wash trading goes on everywhere. It's not just Binance, not just Aster. But anyways, getting back in the charts here, Aster is currently trading at $2.09, up 12% today. So now you're catching the bids here on Aster again. Aster, I did identify that it had to maintain this uptrend for us to continue being bullish here. Looks like you are doing that. I have drawn a Fibonacci from $2.43 to the lows here at 54 cents. We were kind of hanging out near the golden pocket for the most part. Use that as support. Thank you. Now we can go up to higher prices on Aster. I think Aster's going to head back up to 243, the way things are looking. Like we saw back here in September 24th. Also, I want to see if we can just maintain this uptrend. If we do lose this uptrend while we're trying to make higher lows here, we could probably revisit the 618 or the 65 golden pocket at $1.77 here. But that's fine. Then that you could just count that as a double bottom and then see this thing go to higher prices from there. Joe wants to look at Render, or you want me my opinion on Render? My opinion on Render is Render's gonna basically follow whatever Nvidia is doing. Nvidia, if Nvidia is showing that there's more demand for AI and the need for AI computing power, then Render will benefit from that, because Render is trying to help people use other people's computers when they're not able to build like a data center. All right, and if AI gets to the point where, you know, they can build data centers, but they don't have the power to actually run the data centers without sending like electrical prices up for everybody, not just the data centers, then that's where Render could come into play in the future, where we can start using other people's computers instead of building data centers that are consuming all this electricity. We can just use other people's computers to try to do whatever we need to do with AI. So that's where I think, you know, once people start realizing that Render, that's what Render's trying to accomplish and do, then you'll see Render go up in price as well. We got BC Pork Corp in the chat. Good to see you, BC Pork Corp. Oh, you're a Bitcoin maxi now? That's funny. Yeah, especially, yeah, it's very easy to say you're a Bitcoin maxi when Bitcoin's at near all-time highs. What are we at? Oh, wow, look at that. We're about to make a new all-time high on Bitcoin right now, guys. $125,740 Bitcoin. We actually made a new all-time high probably while I was looking at those altcoins there. We saw Bitcoin get up to 125,930 on Coinbase Exchange. Let me get into the 5-minute time frame, try to figure out when that exactly happened here. So yeah, congratulations, guy. We are now watching the Bitcoin all-time high stream right now. Bitcoin about 10 minutes ago, around 1:20 Eastern time, got as high as 125,930 on Coinbase Exchange. I think we'll see 130K later on this week, maybe even tonight. You can thank the full moon for that. We got the full moon. Seems like Bitcoin always pumps during a full moon. If you do look at the charts, every time we have a full moon, we pump for the most part. Every time we have a full moon, the likelihood of Bitcoin going down is like 0%. I'm sure someone can actually come up with the statistics on what Bitcoin actually does, but I can just tell you from what I've seen, full moon's a good day to be in Bitcoin and crypto. And you're seeing that right now. We got the full moon coming later on tonight. Look at some of these cryptos. Looks like Aptos on my watch list not doing so well. But it'll probably play catch up at some point. Aventus is not doing so well either. It could probably play catch up maybe. Chainlink, we gotta look at Chainlink at some point. Yeah, we'll look at Chainlink, but we gotta look at Aster. Well, we did look at Aster. We gotta look at Arbitrum next, and then Proton. You guys are having your own chat there about Litecoin. Okay, I'll come back to the chat later. I gotta deal with two chats here. I'm looking at TikTok and YouTube at the same time, like all over the place. But I am keeping it moving along here. So good to see Bitcoin reaching for new all-time highs again. Let's just keep doing that. Move on to Arbitrum, right? I believe that's what ARB is. USD. Yeah, Arbitron. Arbitron. Currently trading at 46 cents, up 7% today. Very good to see. I wonder if there's any old coins out there that's up. There's got to be something that's up like 20 or 30% today. But Arbitron looking fine as of now on the daily time frame. You just got above the 50-day moving average at 45 cents. That's good to see. Making higher lows, and you can count this as another higher low. And you were making higher highs up until the end of August, and then you start making lower highs. So that's not good. But hey, you know, you can invalidate that by actually making a higher high again at some point. So we got swing low, swing high, swing low, swing high. I guess I'll measure from here on the Fibonacci for now. We'll do a little Fibonacci, see what that comes and gets us. You got a 1272 saying that Arbitron could get up to like 69 cents. Of course, what a great number, right? And then you got 1618 saying that Arbitron could get up to like 78 cents. And then you got a 2618 saying $1.04, which looks like it's at the same level as what Arbitron was doing back in December. So that's interesting. And then of course 3618 at $1.30. Alright, now let's turn on the VRVP, see what the VRVP has to say about things here. VRVP is showing that POC point of control is at 49 cents. That should be a level of resistance. And then you got the value of your high, that white line, at 57 cents. 57 cents is also confluent with the 786 retracement. And not to get past that, yeah, you got high volume nodes here at 69 cents and high volume nodes here at 78 cents, which is where the Fibonacci is. 1272 Fib extension, 1618 are confluent with those VRVP levels there. So whether you're using VRVP or Fibonacci, you kind of arrive at the same target here for your upside targets on Arbitron. Alright, I'll go ahead and get rid of VRVP for now. And I just think downside targets, you can just use your moving averages as support. Your 200-day moving average is sitting at 39 cents on Arbitron. Okay, moving on from Arbitron, we'll take a look at Proton. And this is a crypto that you say? I can't find the ticker symbol for Proton. If that's the case, I'm not going to be able to actually do TA on it. Proton on DeFi Llama. Proton wrapped on Ethereum. So if it's not on any of the centralized exchanges, that's going to be tough for me to analyze here. If it's only on DEXs. I see a Proton wrapped ETH on wrapped Ethereum. Uniswap. So let me know if this is what you're seeing for the Proton price. I have it at about a half a penny. We're gonna say 59.81 for Proton, and this is what I got for the chat here. Higher low, higher low, higher low, kind of like a bull flag for the most part. I think I'll just do a bull flag chart pattern analysis on this one for now, and let's see. Kind of like measuring lower highs here. Alright. Well, I kind of want to readjust that. There we go. Kind of good. So you kind of got like a bull pennant here. Bull flag. And if this plays out and you break out from where you are right now on Proton, your bull flag target to the upside is about a penny. You could see this thing get up to 11,621, that blue number right there. And I'll do a Fibonacci on this here. So you're kind of hanging out near just below the 618 golden pocket at 6,300, 6,500. I think once you get past that, then you're going to see how you handle yourself at the 786 at 7,300. And then your upside target, you got a penny on the 1272, and then you got a little bit above a penny at one point. We'll call that 12,468. And then of course you got the bull flag target at 11,600. I think those are your upside targets for Proton. And Proton, it looks good, right? You're above the moving averages. You were above the 21 EMA for a little bit there, but I think Proton is looking good in my opinion here. Wait, alright, you're saying it's called XPR? And then Kyle Ruby, if you're saying if you miss Solana, does it look good, bullish, and over that golden pocket? Alright, okay. So, we gotta look at the Solana, looks like, for Kyle Ruby. I gotta make some room here for Solana on the whiteboard here. Alright. So I'll try to get over to Solana. Solana is one of my favorite altcoins. It's my biggest spot bag. Alright. Flex Big Boy Crypto saying Sui is the next big breakout. I'm assuming that's a statement, not a request. Alright. So yeah, this is XPR with wrapped Ethereum. Let me just see what XPR is for the ticker symbol here. See what the price is. It might be the same thing, same analysis. Yeah, it's the same analysis. I have looked at this thing already. And it's the same thing, you know, the 1618 at a penny. 1272 at a little bit less than a penny. So it's the same analysis there. I already did that for Proton there. But yeah, thank you for letting me know the actual ticker symbol there. Alright, moving on from Proton, we'll take a look at TARS AI, and then we gotta take a look at Chainlink after that. Alright, TARS AI currently trading at 6 cents, up 1.2% today. I have drawn this, as I feel like you might have requested this already, but I have drawn a red line in the sand saying you shall not pass. Do not go below 6 pennies, or in this case, that red number there, 0.058 pennies. Because that 0.058 penny level has acted as support in the past, and has acted as resistance in the past as well. So it's a level to be looking out for. But of course, you lost it in April, came back to it, and then you flirt around with losing it again here in the end of September. And this is where I kind of like gave up on TARS AI. I'm like, man, if you're gonna lose this again, then it's game over. But it looked like it's another fake out. So the way the charts are drawing this, I mean, there's now another line in the sand below you at 4,800. 4,800. Don't lose 4,800 now. I guess I gotta put that in there now. Don't lose that level, please. But I just don't like TARS AI, in my opinion, because you're still making lower highs and you're making lower lows. You're still in a downtrend. Are you ever going to get above the 2-day moving average? You did that for like one day in 2025. You did it on September 12th. Congratulations. And then you lost it. And the next day, you got rejected off the 2-day moving average. And it's always getting rejected. That's the problem. Like, you're getting rejected off the moving averages here. Let me get rid of the moving averages and just try to draw a downtrend. Are you able to get out of the downtrend? So that was like a kind of like a downtrend right there. I guess you could say you got out of that downtrend, but then you kind of created like a new downtrend. I think this is the downtrend you're currently up against right now. So it's close. You're close to trying to get out of the downtrend. You know, don't lose 4,800. And can we actually go up and to the right instead of going down and to the right? I think over the next couple of weeks here, you're gonna find out does TARS AI have it to try to actually go up to higher prices here. But turn on those moving averages again. I think the moving averages are still acting as your bully and your resistance right now. 2-day moving average at 7,300 and the 50-day at 6,700. Those are your upside targets as of now. I want to see TARS AI get above the 2-day moving average. You do that, then I can say, all right, TARS AI, it's starting to look bullish now. But I can't say that if you're below the 200-day moving average. Alright, let me try to catch up with the chat here on YouTube. I think I've kind of neglected you guys there a little bit there. BC Pork Corp talking about Bitcoin. Alvin Medina says bully. Chris says there's nothing wrong with it. Please just don't hurt my Litecoin. Keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer. LOL, just kidding. BC Pork Corp says haha, never. You like the Litecoin technology, and you trade some altcoins. You just don't invest in them. Yep, that's a good way to go about trading in altcoins. And then Chris Klein says that's awesome. BC is a boss. You just 86 your 3 longs you had. Scalps for now. Going to reassess and check the charts. Literally only trading with $5, trying to double it. It's a practice thing. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you're getting your practice in there, Chris. And then BC Porco says, I feel it, Chris. I'm holding my long because I've been in it. Looking for momentum is being lost though. And then Chris says momentum is becoming nil. Looking for some small shorts possibly. Oh, so you guys are just talking about trading right now, trading the charts. Alright, cool. Back to the show here. So yeah, that's TARS AI. Could be possibly trying to break out of a downtrend. It's got to break above those moving average resistance. That's really keeping you down right now. Alright, moving on to Chainlink. Finally getting to Chainlink now. Let's see, where's Chainlink? There it is. Chainlink currently trading at $23.31. Up 5.9% today. Having a decent day like most other cryptos here. Let's see. I have drawn, like, you know, Chainlink was supposed to try to maintain this uptrend, but it lost that here on September 22nd. Then you get this downtrend that you've been in on Chainlink. You're kind of coming up against that downtrend right now. I'll get rid of this line. I don't think we need that for now. But you got this downtrend. Can Chainlink actually close above this downtrend? Get up to that 786 retracement at $24.14. Actually stay at $24 and use that as support so we can launch up to higher prices here. That'd be nice to see. I have previous chart analysis on Chainlink. For some reason I highlighted $30.91. I have to go back and see why I decided to do that. I think $30.91, that was a top here in December of last year. Looks like it's also a resistance level from February of 2021. So even back in 2021, $30.91 was an area to be looking out for, because you got resistance, some resistance in that area. Anywhere between 30.91 and 35. It's going to be a tough area to crack if Chainlink actually gets up to that price. Again, it did it in 2021. Could it do it again in 2025? And then of course, you know, going back to these targets here, with the Fibonacci, you do have a 1272 that says you know, Chainlink could get up to like $32.64, and then you got a 1618 saying that Chainlink could get like $38.72 here. So we shall see. We shall see. But I do like the fact that Chainlink is above all the moving averages, the 200, the 100, and the 50, and it's also above the 21 EMA. So, all right, Chainlink, it's time to show what you got here. The spotlight's on you. Are you gonna fumble the ball here, or are you gonna actually start going up to $24 and then heading back up to like $27 and then $30 and get more people excited about you? I don't know, but the spotlight's on Chainlink right now. It's ready, right? We'll see if Chainlink can actually do what it needs to do to go to higher prices here. But if it doesn't, if it fumbles the ball, then you do got some support below you. You got the 50-day, the 100-day, and the 200-day. Looks like the 100-day is kind of like confluent with the 0.5 retracement here at $19. So maybe there's some support at $19. You might be able to get some cheaper Chainlink. But if it does that, then this ends up being a lower high, and then this ends up being a lower low. And then you're kind of like still in a descending channel. Maybe even you can call it a bull flag maybe. But I want to see the bull flag break out. How about that? Especially if Bitcoin's at new all-time highs. Can we actually do that instead of staying in the bull flag? Staying in the descending triangle here, or descending channel, I should say. All right, let's go ahead and move on to ZBCN, and then we got Floki and Solana. ZBCN. ZBCN, ZBEC for CC over here. We're looking at the ZBEC currently trading at 49,000, down 1.09% today. And I'm just trying to see what I got for the Fibonacci here. I drew from 71,300 all the way down to 19,000. We got these levels to play with here. And it looks like ZBEC actually came right up to that golden pocket at 53,000. You did what I was talking about yesterday. Like that's the next level to get up to, is the golden pocket level. You did that today now, but you rejected. And now what are we doing? We're just kind of hanging out, kind of like where we started, where we ended yesterday last night at 49,580. Okay. So you showed us that it's possible to get up to the golden pocket. Can you actually try to make it up to that golden pocket going into tomorrow and later on this week? I don't know, but now the spotlight's on ZBEC as well. Can you do that? Can you do that? Because if you're not able to do that, then maybe we have to come down to the 0.5 retracement at 45,000 all over again. Try to get some support here. Maybe make a higher low, and then we try to go back up to that golden pocket level one more time. Bull Market Bandit says that Binance has been smashing as well. Yeah, Binance, I did put that in the title, I think, as one of the hashtags for my YouTube stream. Binance is looking just like the price of gold. It's just making new all-time highs and just going up and to the right. But yeah, just let me know if you want me to take a look at Binance. And we're actually up almost at 2 hours here on my live stream. Am I gonna do a 3-hour live stream? You guys gonna keep me busy enough for 3 hours? I do want to go to the gym at some point. I gotta do that. Let's take a look at Floki now. Floki, there we go. Floki currently trading at 10,329 is what we'll call it, up 2.87% today. Let me erase some of this previous analysis here. Just eyeballing Floki with the moving averages. Yeah, you are trying to get above that 50-day moving average. That'd be nice to see. That's sitting at 10,152. So yeah, you actually are above it right now. I have a little bit of kind of like a fake out once you lost that 200-day moving average, only for you to then come back above. So that's good to see that you did that. I want to see Floki start making higher highs, get above the highs that you saw here in August at 12,400, and then of course get above the high here in July at 15,770. I think that's what you're going to be working on with Floki next, is can you make higher lows and higher highs? Can you do something like kind of like this, right? Can you go up, make a higher high, come back down, maybe make a higher low, and then make a higher high going forward here to higher prices? Can you do that? And then just, I don't know, get up to like 1,500 or 15,000, I should say, make a higher low, and then continue making higher highs again. So you're going to just higher prices here. That'd be nice to see. I think now that you're above the 200-day moving average, you got the permission to do that, and you're just using these levels here as your previous resistance. However, I could draw a Fibonacci, see what the actual levels to look out for is. Your golden pocket's at 12,000, so that's kind of like where you were at in August. Then your 786 is at 13,700. I don't really see anything over there. You got a lot of upward and downward. The 786 retracement didn't really act as support or resistance from the previous candles here, but it is sitting at 13,700. And then of course, can we get back up to 15,000? I'm not even going to talk about the 1272. I mean, you can look at it right now. There's your numbers for your 1272 and your 1618. But first we got to do this. We got to get past the golden pocket, and then we got to get past the 786, and then we got to see if we can get right up to where we were in July here at 15,000, almost 16,000. And if you're not, then you got downside targets below you, your 200-day moving average supporting you at 8,900. Hi Jack, how you doing? You said hi Damien, I'm saying hi to you back. Good to see you, Jack. You want to look at Sigma? Jeez, maybe this is going to turn into a 3-hour live stream. Understandable when Bitcoin's making new all-time highs yet again. And we also got the full moon today too, later on tonight. Jasmine is another request here. And we got 6,600 likes on the TikTok live stream. Let's see if we can bump that up to 7,000 likes here. Thank you guys. And my YouTube guys, you're doing your best here. Thank you for hitting the like button. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Let's try to get some more subscribers here. Thank you, CC, for hitting that like button. Thank you, Shafi. Thank you for hitting that like button. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Kyle, yeah, we are gonna look at Solana. Solana comes right after this one, right after Floki. Yeah. All right. So yeah, we've just finished up downside targets on Floki. Is just that 200-day moving average, and then you get your upside targets. You got some work to do here on Floki, but I think it is doable. It is possible here. All right, let's move on to Solana. How is Solana doing? Solana at $236, almost $237. I am in a Solana long on Coinbase exchange. Doing futures trading on Coinbase. And I think Solana is just gonna, I mean, it's been in this this uptrend, this rising channel ever since like June. And I just think we'll probably head up against resistance at the channel one more time. If we're still gonna respect the channel, you know, we could see Solana get to 260 before it gets knocked back down again to the heart line at 233, basically where we're at right now. Then what, are we then going to come down to maybe make a higher low at 211 before we try to go up, back up again in this channel here? I mean, that's what I'm seeing with Solana. It's like, Yeah, we saw 253 last month as the high water mark. Maybe we actually hit 260, which was the previous all-time high back in 2021. We might see 260 as your next resistance for Solana here. But Solana is actually, you know, the definition of a bull market, right? You're above the 200-day, the 100-day, the 50-day, and Solana is also above the 21 EMA. Looking very nice, solid accumulation, going up to higher prices here. Let's see what the oscillators look like here real quick. Solana's not even overbought on the daily time frame. It's at 59 on the RSI, this red number right here. Sitting at 59.39 on Solana. MACD, you got a MACD flip here on the beginning of October, right after rent is due. And then here at stochastic RSI on Solana is high, but it could stay high, and that would be what you would need. You would need that stochastic to stay high to see higher prices for Solana. And then market cipher B is showing that it was a green buy dot on October 1st. You know, when rent was due this month, that's when you should have been buying Solana. So maybe you could have skipped rent and buy some more Solana. And then, you know, now you can sell your Solana and then go pay your landlord back after Solana just jumped up in price. Not financial advice, please don't do that. But that's just me joking around that you could have maybe skipped rent and then pay your rent, because that's what Solana was able to do for you. It's been going up since the beginning of October here. Alright. But yeah, that's just me being funny. Money flow is flowing into Solana, and it looks like it could continue on. Alright. And last time we had like a green buy dot where we got some continuation. You know, look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days of Solana going into the, you know, getting money flow before you got a red sell dot. So maybe, let's see, October 1st, what, 1, 2, oh, well, actually, you know, if history's going to repeat itself, then tomorrow you might get a red sell dot on Solana. But if you don't see that red sell dot, then you can stay in your Solana trade. Like I said, I think you can stay in Solana until you get to 260. Yeah, right up to the top of this rising channel here. Might be a good place to sell Solana, then come back in, buy it again at like 230 again, all over again. There's nothing to say that we have to go all the way back to the bottom of the channel again. You're at the heart line right now. Maybe you actually hit your head up against the top of the channel, come here, make a higher low, and then go back up to the top of the channel all over again. That'd be very nice to see. That'd be even more bullish than what Solana has done already. But yeah, I think this is what you're playing with, and you can just use this. I know other traders are probably eyeballing this. They're doing their trend lines. Some of them might not even know that they're drawing a rising channel, but this is a rising channel that we're in on Solana, and I think this is still in play for now. But yeah, downside target somewhere like above 200 bucks. I don't need to draw Fibonacci. I think this is good enough, right? Yeah. It's been the way to play Solana the last few weeks here. Oh, you got over 800 Solanas. Wow. I think the most Solana I ever had was like 300 Solanas. But I've been selling some Solana to like go on vacation and pay some bills and stuff like that, which I was planning on doing. I know some of you are like, oh my god, he sold his crypto? But yeah, I sold it, yeah, because like Solana did drop down to 90 bucks. I didn't sell it at 90 bucks. I sold my Solana last year at like 200 bucks. 230 bucks. And we're back at the same price that I sold my Solana at. So like, did I really screw myself over? No. But I actually sold some Solana last week at 200. What did I sell at? I think I sold it like around this level, 235 or 231. I gotta look at the orders, but I have sold some Solana. I sold a little bit last week. You gotta take profit. You gotta pay yourself. Solana's a good one to pay yourself with. All right, let's move on from Solana to Sigma. But I still hold the majority of my Solana. I'm trying to see if Solana does go up to like 400 bucks. I think that's a possibility. Alright, moving on from Solana to Sigma. Sigma coin. This is a meme coin, I think built on the Solana network. And Sigma currently at 9,769, up 6.96% today. I know I looked at Sigma coin. I don't know why I don't have any Fibonacci analysis on it already. Or maybe I did. I probably did a VRVP on this one. Nicole Harbor, you're asking about SCRT in Mina. I'll try to look those ones up. Thank you for the request. SCRT and Mina. You guys make me do a 3-hour live stream today. Okay, that's fine. Oh, and you want to look at KSM? Oh my god. I don't know if I can do more requests, guys. I actually want to go hit the gym at some point. I do go live like every day, so we could save some of these requests for tomorrow too. But you hit your 3 request limit. That's all I'm gonna give you is 3 requests. So Cam, what I do for the Fibonacci, I'll do it real quick for the settings here for Fibonacci. Let's see if I can just draw this out. Here to here. Alright, so the Fibonacci, I got the 618 and the 65. And all I do is click on your Fibonacci, you go on to settings here, that hexagon right there. And you just make sure 618 is checked off, and I got it as yellow, and then I put in 65. If 65 is not there, you can just literally type in 65, and then I make it orange, and that's my golden pocket there. And of course, what I do with the lines here is I extend the lines to the right. Yeah. You don't have to. You can just click that off. And if you click it off, you don't extend it, then your Fibonacci kind of looks like this, which, I guess is helpful. But, as the price plays out, and continues going up and down, and hitting those levels, I actually do like seeing the lines extend to the right here. But you do whatever works for you. This is how I like to see things here on my charts, with extending the lines to the right. But let's see. We're looking at Sigma coin. Let me get rid of the Fibonacci for now. Yeah, I don't think Fibonacci's helpful with this. I think VRBP is helpful. I'm gonna turn that bad boy on for Sigma coin. And Sigma coin, where are you? You're like right down here. You're right at the point of control at 9,682, or a little bit above it right now. You're also kind of like near the value area low. It's right next to the POC. So there's some people that bought around this level, but yeah, the value area low. This is, in my opinion, it's undervalued. Sigma coin has a lot of room to run up to the upside, and if it does, you don't really have any moving average resistance until you get to the 50-day at 14,500, and then the 200-day at 16,400 could be where you get some resistance. This thing could run up pretty well on for you here if it starts cashing those bids. And if you cash those bids, you get up to the 50-day, that's about a 50% gain. If you get up to the 200-day, that's about a 70% gain on Sigma, almost a double. And if you get to the value area high, that other white line right above you, where a good majority of people bought this coin back in like June and May of 2025 here, you're looking at like a 95% gain just getting back to where people were buying this thing in the beginning of the summer. Pretty cool, pretty cool. And downside, I mean, you're below all the moving averages, so you don't have much support, but you do have the support that you created down here on September 23rd and September 26th when you came as low as 7,050. So that's where you gotta put your stop loss, because I mean, you could continue going down lower if this thing doesn't catch bids. That's your risk that you take. This thing could go down to 7,000 or even lower than that. All right, moving on from Sigma, we'll take a look at Jasmine Coin. Let me get rid of all this chart work here. All right, so Jasmine Coin currently trading at 1,336, a little bit above a penny, almost a penny and a half. And here on the chats, you are making higher low, so you still got that intact there. That's good to see, right? Just keep making higher lows, all right? But you would want to see yourself make higher highs at some point here, okay? Jasmine Coin kind of getting beat up every time it gets to the 200-day moving average. You get above it, you have like your day in court here, where you win your court case, and then you get knocked down again, okay? Below that 200-day moving average, this red line here. It's all craziness here with all the colors here, but you got knocked down off the 786 retracement. You got knocked down, you lost the 618 here. Then you lost the 0.382, and now you're just making lower highs, lower highs. I'm afraid, I don't know what's going to happen next here with Jasmine, but is Jasmine going to then reject the 236 retracement at 1396 and make another lower high? Because that seems to be the theme here. We just keep losing the Fibonacci levels. That's not good to see. The Fibonacci levels are acting like bullies and pushing you back into the locker here. Okay. But you, for some reason, you are making higher lows. This looks like it's kind of like confluent with like a double bottom from like July of 2025 here. So you kind of made a double bottom. You're trying to save yourself here. But I can't get too excited about Jasmine Coin, to be honest with you. As I start to zoom in, I don't want to see you lose one penny. Don't lose a penny, because it could get worse for Jasmine if you lose a penny here. You lose a penny, you're losing about 30% of what you got right now, right? If this thing comes down to a penny, just game planning this out. Alright, maybe it's like 10%. No, it can't be. That looks like a 30% drop on me. Oh yeah. If you come down, like a penny is even lower than that. If you come down to like a penny, that's a 24, 20, almost a 25% drop. But I was talking about like this level, yeah. If you lose 1189 is the low, or 1174. If you lose that, you're losing 12%. So you put your stop loss there. I think that's respectable and understandable for most stop losses to be about like 10% on your spot bags here. But if you lose more than that, I mean, do you want to lose more than 10%? Because you could put your stop loss lower and see yourself continue to lose more money on Jasmine. But I'd probably cut it off right over here at 1170. In my opinion, I think that's where you need to cut your losses here. But if you don't end up going to lower prices and losing money on Jasmine, then yeah, we got levels to work with here. We got the 0.236 at 1390, and then you got the 200-day moving average sitting at 1478. That's actually compressed with a lot of moving averages in that area. And then you got the 0.382 at 1520. So those are your take profit targets if you're swing trading this or day trading it. You're trying to get right back up to this 0.382 retracement, and 200-day moving average sitting at around 1500, about a penny and a half here. But we shall see, because right now the 200-day moving average has been acting as resistance. You're trying to do what some coins have already done already, which is get above the 200-day moving average and then start using it as support rather than resistance. But maybe Jasmine is able to do that at some point in the future. We'll just have to stay tuned and see what it does. Ask me about this thing next week. We'll see what it's doing next week. Hello, Romance. Good to see you in the chat here. Thank you, Cam, for sending me the gifts there. Thank you. Appreciate that. There's not too many people doing that, but I definitely appreciate you when you do that. All right. And let's see. Going back into the YouTube chat here. Ava Medina has hit the like button. Thank you for hitting the like button there. You think Solana's looking extra bullish right now. And then Floki's Angel says, when you going to BC? LOL, never mind. And then Ava Medina, you asked about how to trade silver on chain. I don't think there's a silver coin on cryptocurrencies, but they probably will start adding that on. I wouldn't be surprised if someone does do a silver coin or silver tethered. We have gold tether and we have Pax G, but we don't have a silver coin on cryptocurrency yet. They have not tokenized silver yet. But moving on from Jasmy, we will look at SCRT, and I'll try to look at Mina as well. And then KSM, and then that's it. I'm done with the requests. No more requests. I gotta get on with the rest of my day here. Mozart Legend says the Dexes have silver. I don't know if I trust that, like, you know, because like Pax G will actually send you gold coins if you ask to trade in your Pax G for an actual gold coin. Are you gonna actually get a silver coin off of a Dex, or can you even get a gold coin off a Dex? Like if you say, all right, I actually want the gold, I don't want to just trade. Like, is it backed up by silver on the Dex? That's what I want to know. Because if it's not, then what's the point? What are you doing if you're trading silver or gold and you can't even redeem it for actual silver or gold? I'd be careful with that one. But Pax G, I know you can trade it for gold, and I think Tether Gold, you can also trade that and you can redeem it for gold. Alright, looking at SCRT. If I'm wrong, I might be wrong. This is all brand new stuff to everybody, including me. Alright, SCRT on Mexi Exchange. Currently trading at 21 pennies here, up 2.4%. Look at the daily chart. What is this thing done? I never looked at this chart before. It clearly had an altcoin season or altcoin frenzy, whatever you want to call it, back in November of 2024. Well, this thing is high as 82, almost 83 pennies here. But that was his best days, and now, I mean, are you making a case to be bullish here? You kind of are, actually. You got above the 2-day moving average. When you get above the 2-day moving average, I can be bullishly biased on whatever asset we're looking at, as long as you're above the 2-day moving average, and that's that red line there. So, good job, SCRT. You're doing what you need to do to stop being bearish and start being bullish again. And by doing this, like, you got as high as like 24 pennies here. That's higher than the high here in July. So you're doing what I like to see. I can get excited about this coin, to be honest with you, because you're making higher highs than the previous highs, and you're above the 2-day moving average, and you kind of used it as support here. Yeah, and then you launched it on Sunday, and now here you are trading at 21 pennies on Monday here. So I like this. This is what I want to see. This is what I would like to see for Jasmy. Can Jasmy do this, right? And can some of these other altcoins do this? Because SCRT is doing that right now. This could be a look in the future for Jasmy if Jasmy's able to actually catch some bids and get above the 2-day moving average. But this thing, SCRT, is doing it right now. So you can probably put your stop loss below candlewick low, which puts you below the 2-day moving average and the 100-day moving average. And you're trying to ride this thing up to higher prices. How much higher could it go? Well, it has been to higher prices before. Looks like we're going to see if we can get up to the highs here in May, when this thing was trading at like 29 pennies. That could be a target. Let's go ahead and turn the VRVP for now. See what that says. VRVP showing that the point of control, that blue line, this is where the majority of people bought this coin at all throughout 2025 for the most part. That blue line sitting at 18 pennies. That could be your support. And you got the 200-day moving average above that at 18.5 pennies. So you got some support below you now. You can start making a bullish case. Put your stop losses below the POC, or put your stop loss below the 200-day moving average, and you'll be fine. And then if this thing continues going to higher prices from where it is right now, I mean, the value area high is sitting at 23 pennies. That could be an area where people were using this as resistance in May and March. But I think the people there, if they're going to click the sell button on you, you could join them at 23 pennies. Okay? And then you got another high volume node here at 25 pennies. But then after that, the volume drops off steeply. Right? You don't got that much resistance after 25 pennies. And it could be heading to the moon after that. Now I have to like kind of zoom out and get more data here with the VRVP. And this now readjusts itself because I now got new data. And now you got a value of your high sitting at like 45 pennies. That could be your target, long-term target. You're basically doubling your money here with SRCT. Or SCRT. You're welcome, Nicole. You're welcome. We actually looked at Chronos earlier in the live stream here. I take a look at it real quick, just give you the targets. But we'll take a look at it real quick. I'm not going to go into in-depth analysis here because we already did that. You can look at my YouTube live stream for the replays. I am on YouTube. If you can find me here on YouTube, the Meet Damien channel on YouTube. You can look at my live streams and get all the coins that I did for that day. All right. But yeah, going back to Chronos, upside target. Can Chronos get back up to the 618 golden pocket at 29.30 cents? That's your upside target. And then downside target, just don't go lower than what you did here on September 25th at 17-18 pennies. Okay. Because then it could get bad. It could be bad news from there. Alright, going on to Mina, and then KSM, and then that's going to be it for this live stream here. We'll finish off on Bitcoin, see how Bitcoin is doing. And I'll give you my last thoughts on Bitcoin. Mina on Coinbase Exchange. Mina is currently trading at 17 pennies, up 3.6% today. Mina has some moving averages above it, so I have to be bearish on this thing until it gets above that 200-day moving average, that red line at 20 pennies. You're looking at 20.206 pennies. Do that, and I can be bullish on this. But I just know, like, once you get up to these moving averages, like have done so in the past, like the 100-day has been acting as resistance every time you get up to it. Sometimes you don't even get up to it, and you get rejected. Okay. But this thing has seen better days, like it did in November of last year, when we had that little altcoin frenzy, mini altcoin season, whatever you want to call it. But I just don't like this. Like, you're making lower highs than you did here in March, than you did here in March of 2024 and December of 2024, and it's like this was a great short. I don't know, will it turn into a great long? You would have to start seeing bullish divergence, double bottoms. You would have to see you get above the 200-day moving average and make higher lows here, then higher highs at some point. Show that you're bottoming out. You could be getting to the beginning of a bottom. Let's see what the RSI has to say here. Zoop, zoop. Zoop. Oh, nope. Oh, God. Yep. Fix that. Alright. Zoop. Did that too quick. Interesting. Let's just zoom in on the RSI. So, I think you're trying to make higher lows on the RSI. That's good to see. And now going back to the price here, you are making, are you still making lower lows? Kind of looks like the same low. Your low was 0.147 pennies on September 30th, and here on June 22nd, 0.1. You made a double bottom, so that's good to see. You got a double bottom here on Mina. literally to the exact bottom. A double bottom, if you read up what qualifies as a double bottom, it has to be like within 1 to 3%. But since this thing is like the same exact number, it's definitely a double bottom. It's not. It's like within 0% of each other. Okay. And just quickly for those who know or don't know or whatever, but double bottom, if you just measure the top in between the two bottoms, gives you your measured move for your double bottom, and you just take that top, you put it on top of the top in between the two bottoms, and this gives you your measured move target, saying that Mina could get up to like 35 cents, that blue number there. Looks like 35 cents is confluent with what you did back here in February. So that's a long-term target. That's a double in price from where we are right now. But even before I get more excited about Mina, right? This qualifies as bullish divergence. So you're starting to see buyers are starting to show up at these low prices. You got the double bottom. You're getting support at these prices here. So you're starting to get the beginnings of bottoming out here on Mina. Okay. What I then want to see is, you know, can we make higher highs? Can we get above the 200-day moving average? That's the next thing. So you did the double bottom. Check that off the list. Check that off the checklist. Okay. Then the next thing you need to do, get above the 200-day moving average. Check that off the checklist. Then the next thing you need to do, start making higher highs. Higher than what you did here in July when you're at like 25 pennies. Okay. Make higher highs, and of course, in order to make those higher highs, you have to make higher lows. But yeah, you want to see something like this with Mina. You want to see get above the 200-day moving average. It's okay, you get rejected initially. Make a higher low. That's what we want to see. Then make a higher high. Get above the 200-day moving average. Do it convincingly, and then try to get above the high here in July. And then of course, make a higher low. And then what are you doing? You're kind of forming a bottom here on Mina, right? And then you just continue making higher lows, higher highs, and you're creating an uptrend, right? Now you got yourself an uptrend. Higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. And you're making money on your long on Mina. But yeah, Mina looks like it's getting close to changing course and becoming bullish instead of bearish here. Alright, moving on from Mina, we're going to take a look at KSM. I think that's Kusama, if I can remember correctly. Yeah, Kusama coin. I haven't heard about this one. I had a buddy of mine that was talking about Kusama last year. Nicole, I actually do have a Discord. You can find me on Discord. Since you're on TikTok here, just follow me, send me a message, say hello, Damien. Can you send me the link to Discord, and I'll try to send you the link. But yeah, I do have a Discord here, free to join, and you can see where I go live on the live stream. And there it is. There's my YouTube video for the live stream that we're on right now. And then of course, you know, you can see where I put in some targets here, put up some funny videos here about the old coins, waiting for Bitcoin to start eating. And Bitcoin's a tortoise right now. And then of course some more memes and some other guys sharing their chart setups and what they're trading. But yeah, you can come join the Meet Damien Discord channel. And the YouTube guys, there's a Meet Damien Discord link is in the description of the video, and also in the description of the channel itself. Alright. Get back to Kusama. Kusama looks like it's kind of similar to Mina here. It's almost the same thing. You're trying to get above the 200-day moving average. You're making higher lows as of now. I want to get above the 200-day moving average so I can become bullish here. The 200-day moving average is at $15.44. And then I want to see this thing get above the highs here in May at like $19.62. And then of course, can you get above the highs in November, December when you saw this thing as high as $53? Damn, could be a 3x on this thing. Let me go ahead and turn on the VRVP, see what the VRVP has to say. Porter controlled that blue line. Majority of buyers bought at $15.40. You're right at that POC. Get above that POC, you got another high volume node here at like $18.50, and then another high volume at $19.87. You know that. And then the volume disappears and drops down. And you can see this thing jump right up to that value area high at 37 bucks. Which is a level that a lot of people were buying Kusama back there in November, December at 37 bucks. So we shall see. But Kusama looking like a possible 3x. And the risk reward is great and the risk is low because you just put your stop loss right below the candlewick low on Thursday, September 25th, when this thing was as low as 13 bucks. Just put your stop loss at 13 bucks. You're measuring that out right now. Your stop loss would probably put you down 16%, 17% if it does get hit. But you're risking 17% to get like a 100 or 200% gain, a double or a triple. I think Kusama's worth it. I like it. I like it. And then you're also getting about the 2-day moving average. I like that too. All right. Thank you, Nicole, for hitting the like button. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. We hit 12,000 likes here on TikTok. Thank you guys for hitting that like button. And then, of course, I got some more followers. And then YouTube. YouTube's doing well. I'm a little bit curious to see what the stats are. I know last live stream we were able to get 200 views. So maybe we were able to get that again today. But I don't know. We'll see. I did almost a 3-hour... Well, we did like a 2.5-hour live stream today. But yeah, guys, I gotta go hit the gym. I gotta go get some lunch. I gotta go do some things here. Appreciate you guys coming into the live stream. And we'll just have to do this again tomorrow. Same time. 12 p.m. to like 2 p.m. Eastern time. Alright? But as of now, let's just finish up our Bitcoin. We'll see what Bitcoin's gonna do next here. We're on the daily chart for Bitcoin. Bitcoin at $125,300. Let me get rid of VRP. And I think Bitcoin is going to probably start heading to the 1272 at the $140,000 Bitcoin. That might be later on this month. I think 130,000 might be later on this week. But I think it's all systems go for higher prices here on Bitcoin as we take this rocket ship up to higher prices here. We've already made a new all-time high today. And we might be seeing some more new all-time highs going into tomorrow and later on this week. We don't really have any bearish news or catalysts to knock us down. We don't have like a CPI report or anything like that, or jobs report. But maybe that might come out during the government shutdown. I don't know. I don't know. But they got the government shut down. It's delaying things, but it's actually working out to our advantage here on cryptocurrency. And it seems like no news is good news for crypto right now. But yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow, same time. And Abba Medina putting out a notification about Road Dog Crypto's live stream is at 10:30 p.m. Eastern time. If you guys want to check out another YouTuber here who goes live at later times here. Road Dog Crypto, you gotta check him out. That's him right there. He has 2,000 subscribers and great TA, great content, great music to listen to. All right, so yeah, check out Road Dog later on tonight. You might see me in the live chat for Road Dog's live stream, and of course, great thumbnails. I'll let you figure out why that's the case. Alright guys, that's gonna be it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.